Hello, U.S. History. This is Mr. King. Just trying to explain your assignment for the work that will be due for U.S. History this week, April 13th to the 17th, and all assignments due on Monday, April 20th. Um, so this week, basically, we're going to look at Unit 5, which is the United States in the interwar period. Great Depression. Obviously, there's some trouble on the horizon with fascism and Hitler, the Nazi Party in Germany being aggressive, the Japanese being aggressive, the Italians being aggressive. It seemed like there was a potential for world war all around us, and the United States wanted to stay as an isolationist nation. So the first thing I want you to do is examine all the information on the Unit 5 learning targets 21 and 22 on my website. Okay, so there's a few PowerPoints and a couple things to read and so on and so forth. So take a look at that, examine that. Then go to your Unit 5 learning targets 21 and 22 packet from the Ohio Department of Education. We use those. I print those out for you before you guys left for the break from the pandemic, I guess. And there are 3 questions at the end of those 2 learning targets. So you will email me the answers to those 3 questions, okay, after you read the learning targets for the packet. The second thing you'll have to do, there's an article from the United States Holocaust Museum that I want you to read about American isolationism during the interwar period and some of the things that the United States did to prepare itself for war, even though we weren't officially involved in the war. And you guys remember, you should remember anyway, that we talked about how adamantly opposed to intervention the United States population was. I mean, it was something like 70 to 80% of the population was opposed to getting involved in the war in Europe after the Germans had invaded Poland. Um, so after you read that article from the Holocaust Museum, there are questions at the bottom of that. I also took those questions and put them on the website for you so you could see them. There are 4 questions that you have to answer. Um, Let me see here what they look like here. What pressures and motivations affected American citizens and government officials to intervene or to stay out of the war in Europe? What could the international community, including the United States, have done to stop the rise of Nazism in Europe as its assault on European Jews? Uh, when do nations have the responsibility to assist other nations that come under attack? And then finally, how can nations assist other nations in wartime besides providing troops and military support? So those 4 questions, again, you will type those in an email and send them to me. Do not take a picture of them. All right, and then the third thing I want you to do, I'm going to read this to you. I just put it up on the website for you. I would like you to think about the sacrifices that Americans were making during World War II. So that's in Learning Target 22. And then I want you to think about the sacrifices that you're making right now during this COVID-19 pandemic. I want you to come up with some similarities and differences that you can identify between the 2 situations. So please list 2 similarities and 2 differences between what sacrifices Americans were making at home during World War II and 2 similarities and differences between uh, what the United States has been asking its citizens to do during this COVID-19 pandemic. So, 2 things that are similar between COVID-19 and World War II in regards to citizenry and sacrifice, and 2 differences between COVID-19 and World War II and the sacrifices that Americans have to make. Okay. Then I want you to comment on 2 lessons learned from World War II and 2 lessons that we in the United States should learn from the COVID-19 pandemic. And then you're going to email me those responses. So that will be due on Monday, April 20th. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Okay? All right. Goodbye.